Pretty much every Maverick player I see is playing him wrong. So today I'm going to show you how to stop doing that so you can be good with Maverick and actually dominate your rank games, because Maverick truly is one of the best attackers in the entire game. I mean, if you think about it, he has no counters. There is not a single counter in Maverick besides a C4, which technically is the counter to everyone. So let's learn how to play Maverick so that you're not getting killed, so that you're adding pressure and you're actually being useful in the round. Outside of just his ability, he has the best gun in the game, the M4, and flashbangs, which is fantastic for playmaking, especially because he's a 3-speed. So you're fast, you can play fast and aggressive, have a great gun, but then you need to be using the blowtorch in the right ways to actually be useful with Maverick. Now, what we're going to do first is talk about how to actually do this in a custom game so you can see the techniques and understand what's going on, and then we'll go into real matches with real examples so you can see how effective the Mavericking tips I show you are. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is drone. You're going to want to figure out what's actually on the other side of the wall. If you aren't able to drone, that's fine, but if you can, figure out who it is, what it is, if it's a bandit, if it's a Cade, if there's any wall now, if there's a guy waiting with a C4, if there's a guy sitting here prone. If this guy is just bandit and he's just sitting here bandit tricking, you could literally just get a teammate, open the wall, and he fries the bandit instantly, and that's a free pick right from the start. So go for those free kills if you're able to get them. So let's say there is no bandit. Let's say I'm just trying to Mav the wall. I'm making it soft for an Ash or a Sledge or whatever. Now, the thing about Maverick is you don't always need a teammate. Some people think that you have to have a teammate to protect you while you do it, or that you need them to achieve certain things, but Maverick is very, very proficient on his own as a solo operator as well. But if you want to make the wall soft, let's pretend it's reinforced for the sake of the video, you will do a line at the top and at the bottom. If it is not electrocuted, you should do the bottom first on the rappel, because then that way they won't be able to see you. You do the bottom line, then you can flip around and do the top, and they can't shoot you through the holes. Now, you can get C4 this way, so be careful of that if they are playing that C4. Now, the other option is, if it is electrified, you start on the ground and do the top, okay? Stay near the wall, nice and close. Now, where do you want to be when you actually open this bottom wall? Obviously, you're not getting shot through this. But if you're doing that bottom wall, you want to make sure there's nobody prone here looking through the holes. You want to make sure there's no guy rafters looking through the holes. These are like the two danger zones. It's like people standing here beaming you. Now, they could also be red, so you don't want to do it from this direction, because if they're red, they will shoot your ankles as well. So it sounds like every single way you try, you're going to get your ankle shot. But the solution here is to stand in the middle of the wall and back up, because now you can only be shot if there's a guy in server prone. And the way you avoid this is you just open this window first. Then he can't just sit here in the middle of the open without being exposed to this window, so he has to worry about being shot in the back. Then you can safely and freely Maverick this wall open, make the wall soft, and your Sledge or Ash can get it. That's the easiest way to avoid a Cade, a bandit, and just get the wall open every single time safely and easily, and maybe even get picks along the way. Now, what you can do after this wall is soft is you can actually Mav a line on this wall prone. So now you have the ability to push through the breach, but once you go to the rappel, you can get the angle into server and shoot their ankles as they cross. Now, if your recoil is not this good, you might want to do a second line just so you have a bigger gap to exploit on them, or you could even do it like a little square in the corner. That's the thing about the blowtorch, is you can do whatever you want with it, because you get to draw whatever you want. You could draw a dick in the wall if you want. It's not my biggest recommendation, but you could. Now, let's say you don't have that Sledge, you don't have that Ash, you still want to be effective with Maverick, and you're on your own. You're kind of on this jacuzzi breach. You're like, I don't know if I should push in, what I should do. Well, again, you can drone the drone hole, figure it out. If there's nobody playing aggressive, you could just do a circle in the wall, just like this, just from the side. You know, you're not exposing stuff to the main stairs, and then all of a sudden you can get into the wall. Now, during that time, you have to be careful. They could walk up and peek you while you're doing this. You have to keep your ears open and also be a little safe. Maybe you want to do half, check your drone again, do the other half. If there's a guy there, you know, you peek into it, whatever. Or you could just avoid this concept altogether by just making lines of sight. Just make lines of sight in the wall. Pretend that circle is gone. You know, we can just make some lines of sight. It's going to scare them. The more we make, the less likely it is they check the right one. Because once those holes are made, we can check our drone, figure out where they are, and then we can peek any of the 3 holes to get that pre-fire onto them in the hallway. Now, this hole is not great because it's kind of at that middle point between crouched and standing, and you don't want to have to sit like this to get a kill. That's going to be very difficult. So try to make them high up or crouched. You know, I mean, this is called Swiss cheese in the wall. This is a classic technique, but if you want to be able to crouch underneath them, you don't want to do these crouch ones. And then you know, you could just peek each one individually. Sloppy map, but it's a little different when you get on the reinforcement. You'll see that in the game. Now, the biggest thing about making these lines of sight is to stay alive. All Maverick is doing by doing this is adding pressure. If you make holes in the wall, there's areas that they no longer can sit, right? If you make holes in this construction wall and you make, you know, you get it all the way open, now all of a sudden they can't really sit in this construction area. You can hold the crosses. You can sit, hold the door if they run out the door. Now, more aware players are going to be aware that you make these, and they're just going to avoid sitting there. So now you've taken off spots where they can safely play, and there's more things for them to worry about. Take this from a perspective of a defender inside. The biggest thing about Maverick is adding pressure, okay? If I'm a defender and I'm playing Master, let's say my windows are open, and my rotate's here, and they could hop in gym, they could hop in maybe the con window at this point, they're playing my windows, and now all of a sudden, instead of being able to free flow through here, back and forth to maybe hold the cash door and hold the gym rotate, all of a sudden I can't actually move this way because I'm worried about getting killed from these holes. So they either have to like kind of peek in here and worry about it, and maybe at that point you have a guy in cash holding this or a guy hopping in the window. There's too many things for them to watch now, so it draws their attention because they have to constantly check all these things. Compare this to if we had only opened the construction window. Every single defender will just aim at it, and now you're hopping into a crossfire of like 3 guys. If you're trying to push this way as an attacker, you have to do what they were just worried about, which is all those other things. You have to now check cash. You now have to worry about the logi rotate. You now have to check the door as well as you hop in. So there's all these different areas you can dive to as an attacker if you're only adding one thing of pressure. So really this game just comes down to different amounts of pressure that you can put on the other team, and Maverick makes that a lot easier and a lot more possible as an attacker. All right, here we are on Oregon. They are top floor. What are our options as Maverick? I think a lot of people focus too much on the blowtorch and getting use out of it. Maverick is very self-sufficient on his own. Like, you can be very, very good with Maverick with only using the blowtorch 1 or twice, or not at all, just because of his speed, the M4, and the flashbangs. So, without his blowtorch, he's already a very, very good operator, basically sentry with a little bit less utility, but then you throw that into the mix, and now all of a sudden you have this spice to your gameplay that you're able to mess with. So right now I could go Master, I could go big tower. A lot of people will try to do that big tower take, get in there, you know, do the dirty Mav angles, and that's fine. It's just not your only option when it comes to Maverick, and that's the thing you need to understand. You don't need to do this every single time. What we can do is we can just look for picks. We can repel to a window, put a bullet hole in it. You know, we can do that. And then whiff, you know, and that's fine because there will be other options to get kills. We can add pressure by just opening windows to attic. Make a guy watch his attic hop in and worry about it. Or we just kill a guy trying to do it. I mean, that's fine. So now they have to worry about attic hop in because I just also killed a guy from there. They have to worry about big window. Now it's like, okay, well, maybe I can get some pressure with my blowtorch now. So now I'm going to go Master. Now I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to, again, put some more pressure on this. Amaro's just going in. Not the greatest option, but the one he went with. So the list looks clear. Buck's already going for it. Now what do I want to do? Drone. We want to use the drone first. I don't want to blindly Maverick into here, right? So let's see. Is there a guy close on the wall? No. So what can I do? There is a guy attic. He doesn't know I'm here. We can make a little hole. We can pull our gun out. And then when he peeks back, he's going to die. He's not even aware of the fact that this Mav hole exists. So I'm just going to sit here and hold it. Just for a few seconds. Just a little bit. Not too long. But if he does come back, he's dead. Okay, fantastic. Now there's only one left. I mean, we're just working circles around these guys at this point. Now, we could add more pressure. We could try to Maverick in here, but we don't need to. We don't need to Maverick in here, so why would we do it? Honestly, I should probably just be pushing with my teammate. That way, if he dies, I can trade him. Right? Because it's a 3v1. It's more of a positional game than a utility game. Why would I sit there Mavericking holes just to get C4'd or killed or whatever when I don't need to? I don't need to. Look, I'm in the site, and I didn't have to Maverick the hole in the wall. Now, it's probably a Valk. Now, at this point, he can only come up 2 ways, right? He's not in the site. He can only come Armory and White Stairs. Can you watch White Stairs? I just asked my Buck to do that. If they watch White, he can't get up White. If I watch Armory, he's stuck here. We could even do this more passively, get an even better angle. You know what he's less likely to expect. Very, very passive angle here. That way he's going to walk through, and I'm going to shoot him in the side of the head. But my teammate did it for me, so don't always rely on that blowtorch. Now we're on a map like Coastline. A map where you probably think, why would I pick Maverick? Maverick can't, there's like literally no walls to Maverick. Why would you pick Maverick on a site like Coastline? Or a map like Coastline, sorry. Well, there's other things we can do, But keep in mind, again, best gun in the game, 3-speed flashbangs. That alone is a justifiable reason to pick Maverick. Now, his operator ability is not going to be as useful as some other operators, right? You might think Buck is a better option, Ram, Fuse even, or Flores, or whatever it may be. But there's always going to be something we can do with this Blowtorch in every single round to make it useful as well. It's not going to be as useful, but combined with his ability, he is still a great pick. Like, just if you just play Maverick, you will be okay. Now, they're hookah. They have castle. What am I going to do? I'm going to use my drones and the Blowtorch to probably get free kills off these castle barricades, right? If they're doing these castles, we can get freebies with Maverick. Now, the other thing we could do is we can sneak into places with the Maverick Blowtorch, which we might do on the basement site, on the kitchen site. So keep that in mind. It's like, we could do that. We could do this. Lots of options when it comes to playing them. Plus, when it just comes down to those gunfights and the positional game that is Rainbow Six Siege, gunfights and positioning, he's a great operator for that. But you just got to remember, that's mainly what this is about. Now, what am I going to do here? Because I cannot get past this mute jammer. So I have two options. I can Maverick a hole and throw my drone through, or I can Maverick it and shoot the mute jammer. Hopefully without getting killed. We'll pop the Goyo to make it a little safer. There's the mute jammer. Now we can drone, right? We got Riva Goyo. We have a Mav hole. Are they looking at it? This guy's pretty close, yeah, so he's probably going to be looking through it. So is it smart to take this gunfight? No, he's already holding the angle. Don't stick your face into it. You can move the drone off the sound of that. He's left, now we pick up the angle. He left the room, now we pick up the angle. We can hold this rotate hole. If we hear him get close, we should probably get off of it because he will win this gunfight if he swings it, essentially, from this close angle, because I will probably miss. Now, I can also hold this doorway, so we can hold the door or the rotate. Probably wasn't smart to switch my angle in the middle of it, but there you go. I heard him on the rotate. I peek it. Let's open up this castle. Add pressure to the defenders now because we have man advantage. We can do that just by opening this up. Throw a flashbang in case he's close. So that way when the castle opens, we are not getting swung. And then we're backing up. We're holding it. Trying to stay alive here because we have man advantage. We don't want to die. We can use our drone again to gather some more control. Obviously, this is a terrible setup. So this castle's alone. I mean, if I flashbang this guy, I can push in on him because there's nobody base. So that's what I'm going to do. Bank a flash, push in, 3-speed, super quick, go for the fight. He's not ready for me. And there we go. We cleaned up the bomb site. We got the kills. We won the round. We barely used the Blowtorch, but the positioning, the speed, the gun, and the flashbangs made it work. And a terrible site setup. That also helps. I really do believe that just simplifying your game to where you're playing, what you're doing, why you're doing it, and having drones and the information to do it is going to upgrade your Rainbow Six game substantially. Less about the operators, more about the positioning, and using the tools that the operators have to feed into that playstyle. If you have good positioning, you have good teamwork, you have good information, you can do anything with any operator. So, as much as you might want to learn Maverick and get good with Maverick, keep in mind that it's less about the actual operator ability and more about the plan and the gameplay and the fundamentals of the game. So, we see their kitchen this time. We have this drone office. This is something that you could do on wherever you really want, whenever you want, but it's a nice little sneaky approach. But we'll even throw on the suppressor just for the hell of it. So we have our drone office. I'm going to try to take office. I mean, I have the drone here. I'll see if it's clear. I'll see if there's a guy in there. If there's a guy in there, I can flashbang him, run at him, and kill him. Because I am a 3-speed. And I have flashbangs. So I'm going to use them. All right, so office is clear. So what can we do? We can sneak right in with this Blowtorch without breaking the barricade. And now we're in. Alt walk through. Just face check it at this point. See that drone on the counter? Might be able to get a freebie because we are in the building without breaking a barricade. Hear this guy get on cams. Oh, now our Twitch has broken a barricade. So at this point, we're just lurking, walking through. We could walk straight into bathroom. You see they're not on the default cam. I'm going to leave that door barricaded and make holes. This is the pressure we were talking about. Now I have to be aware that they could flank me. So I am going to just hold for now. Add some more pressure with these holes. This guy's getting pinged in Sunrise. I might just try to wallbang him. There we go. Beautiful ping. And peek these holes if I want. Could drone it first. There's a guy in the bomb, but he doesn't know which holes to peek. This is what I was talking about in the custom game is I've made so many holes, he doesn't know which ones to look at. Now, I'm getting spotted, so there must be a Val Cam in here. Nice spot for a Val Cam, I'm not going to lie. So, again, adding pressure, taking the space, keeping it simple. But at the same time, it was pretty risky. Like, that is a more risky playstyle to just crouch walk through the building and hope that they don't hear me, which helps a lot more if our team is making more noise, right? If they're doing big explosions, yada, 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 to make the sound to cover me pushing in there. But it's unexpected, it's sneaky, and it works. It works in champion ranked. I'm not currently in champion ranked in this account, which you can probably tell, but it is something that I've done before, and it can pay off. So add it to the repertoire, right? Add it to the inventory, add it to the playbook. Have all these other options that you can pick from, while also still understanding the strengths and weaknesses of the operator. That's really what comes down to when you're learning operators. Understanding what they are strong at and understanding what they are weak at. Like for Maverick, you know, if they're not bringing wall denial, why would you pick Maverick? Why not just pick Ace at that case? Because it's going to be faster. It's going to be quicker. Maverick takes a lot of time. You know, if you pick Ace, you still have one of the best guns in the game, but then you're losing the flashbang. So you're just kind of weighing your options at all times. That's more what it is when you're learning these operators, is weighing your options and understanding the differences of their strengths and weaknesses. So as we go into hookah yet again, we can try to go penthouse side. So we could open hatches. I mean, this would be a free kill if we wanted to spawn there and just absolutely fry this guy. I'm not going to, but you can just see how effective these drones are being for me right here. This guy might get slammed. Honestly, that's the way she goes. He actually died to the Tachanka run out, which, hey, pounding the aggression. Now, we could go open this castle off the start, just add pressure. I think that's a good option. Let's make sure that Doc isn't going to peek me from this window. He's leaving, so I should be fine to just open this up. You got to be careful of C4s. I think I'll be all right. There we go. Window is open. That's something that you have to worry about now. Just be concerned about, focused on. Again, just want to draw as much attention and focus away from the defenders as possible.
Watch out, Payne. There's one in there.
Okay, that was a loud call out. This guy's mic is really, really loud. Again, a nice drone, right? Okay, this guy is blocking the wall open. Oh, we have a rotate already. So there's nothing else we can really do with the blowtorch besides open up more castles. Alright. I didn't even mean to kill that guy, but he is dead. At this point, we could check 90. I mean, there's this castle here. Because my teammates are all over here, this might be a good time to rotate. Like, there's a minute 40 left. It's not a bad idea. We don't all want to be pushing into the same angle, because that's how we line up and get fried, and there's not enough pressure on the bomb site. So by going to this rappel, we're going to take pressure off our team, which is our primary goal. Take pressure off the team, open the castle. Maybe throw a flashbang just as a distraction. We see that Tachanka in there. But we don't want to expose ourselves to the holes yet, right? Now we can just hold our runouts. Chill for a sec. Hold the rotate. I hear him big window. There's the peek. And there's the kill. And we just won 3 rounds straight without a single death. So that's how you play Maverick, guys. I hope you learned something. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments. Kind of a new thing. So, yeah, make sure to subscribe for more tips.